Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LCK Spring 2025.
I think you really have to examine it from the lens of if that invade had been successful and he had the prio at his lanes.
Oh god,
out the game. Oh man.
Doran has just been obliterated by Xiu here. Gets the scrap shield, flash forward and lands the harpoon. There's a solo kill, and that is first blood. Man, I'm so used to it being Gwen doing that, but it's Xiu this time.
Rumble matchup is a bit of a risky one, you know. You want to be up close to your target as Gwen, and you can just get cooked by the Rumble. Xiu planning a big advantage there. Oh, nice dodge from the stun there from Lucid.
Yeah. Going to be landing a few of these daggers as well as Lucid, thinking that his prize is going to be this blue buff, and that is due to the fact that Showmaker has all of that priority in this mid lane, but bot side priority is also there for T1. So a little bit of an honest engage here as Carrier dives forward. They get on top of Lucid. He's lit on fire. Faker free hitting now with these Sand Soldiers, but it's Carrier that's the one in trouble. And with that Spirit Rush, Showmaker is able to take him down. Beryl now looking for Faker as Lucid in amongst it. Gumayushi the target, but Ona goes down first. And that's another kill, this time going over to aiming. It's a disaster for T1.
Ari coming through. We're going to get a replay of that topside play first. She was close to overheating. Doran goes in to try and clear the wave. But just gets beaten down. See Xiu calling it already. Follows with the flash, gets a harpoon. Just beautifully played. Pings the flash as well.
And that must sound pretty good to use relatively quickly, but they need to get another one of these if they do want to lock that one down. And Doran fighting against Xiu. Grand Starfall does come down. Let's see whether the Rumble will survive, and the answer is absolutely he will not. As Lucid just wanting to get that final grub, and he does manage to secure it. So T1 not able to deny the feat. They will be able to deny triple grubs from DK. So T1 on the board now with that kill under Xiu, certainly good news.
Trades it again. Faker's going to recall, but he doesn't have TP, and with him off the map, and Showmaker having not committed ult in that play, Dplus very confident to pick up this dragon. Yep. Second objective of the game.
Deadly Flourish, a bit of an attempt there from Gumayushi. Oh, he did, okay.
They lost the fight as a result.
Oh, so he hasn't had blue buff for very long.
Yeah, oh, Guma.
Okay, Solar Flare is going to miss the stun, but he's still dead. Lucid comes on over, grabs the kill, Beryl able to tank up the turret just well enough. And Ona will be able to get still about 1 minute and 10 seconds left on those plates, so able to get that extra money, certainly going to be good. Lucid just flipped over the wall, so doesn't have that ability at this point in time. Avoids the Deadly Flourish, though, as he flashes over the wall. Ona goes in, but Beryl is right there already. The curtains are going to get called, as now Lucid still trying to escape. I don't know whether Beryl is going to be quite as lucky, though, as he realizes he has to stick around, and that will spell his death. So a little bit of an overextension, and this is something that they were talking about on the space. The fact that DK... Way in, as I say that. Lucid just blast cones his way into the pit, and Ona is going to be able to stun him. The front flip gets him over, but that means the dragon definitely goes into the hands of T1. Equalizer goes down, not really doing...
stronger and stronger. The Triumph spike coming in soon is big, but 3 is really where he's going to take off. And now looking to herald the mid tower. This won't kill it, but they should be able to finish it off with some mortars. Yeah.
Beautifully done. Faker is going to try and return the favor, heading down towards this bottom side. No feats of strength, of course, but first turret blood going over to DK going to be an important one there.
I had to TP out.
Yeah, Faker will set up a turret of his own, and will look to take down this mid wave once more. And Solar Flare going to connect onto Ona. Zenith Blade to try and chain this CC, but the Magnet Storm is good from Carrier. Untargetable is Lucid, but he has to use everything to try and get out, and it does not work. Oh dear, sometimes Zenith played in and it is just not the right call, as now the Otacon going to get taken and T1 really getting out to a fantastic lead off the back of just suffocating T1 as best they could. That was working. Let's go back to that, perhaps.
They're finding angle to get some tower damage here. Oh, she was struggling now.
Yep, Doran in a much better spot as he flashes in and returns the favor. The turret will do a fair bit of damage there, as in fact, yeah, Doran does indeed die. But now we've got another fight breaking out. Beryl, once again, just going to be dead. Solar Flare looking a little celebratory as it hits absolutely nothing. And T1, they get the better end of it, even though it was a 1-for-1 as far as the top laners were concerned. Losing Beryl going to be a big deal, because that should spell this dragon going on over to T1 without DK being able to do anything about it.
Starting to feel pretty rough. Yeah, I didn't see that he...
All right, Beryl's in again. Lucid is there watching again, and Beryl's dead again.
This is just a never change game, I feel like, for Doran and Beryl.
Yeah,
where
that minion was actually going to take a turret shot or two. But unfortunately does not happen. Grand Starfall goes down as she is just going to get swept back, and will do a fair bit of damage here to Ona on the outset, as now Gumayusi also in a little bit of trouble. Good cleanse from aiming, but it's not going to be enough. Carrier just being a defender, as Lucid realizing that perhaps he's also overextended, and Beryl's out of the gate once again. Okay, it's time to die once more.
Oh,
as
look at
these
the
health bars, these health bars are so incredibly low. If Beryl can actually get in there, Solar Flare is back up again, and he throws it down. Not going to find anything, but he's holding them in position. The Eclipse wears off. Beryl is certainly killable, but so are T1 as Doran's teleported in, and oh my goodness, this Gwen is so scary. 15 seconds until Shiu's back up again. And it's a 4v5. In goes Carrier, but doesn't really find the angle, and now Showmaker with all that mobility, looking to see what he can get done. Untargetability good there from Lucid, but Gumayusi, he lands the bullets. Faker goes golden, and DK melts like butter in the microwave. T1 just destroy them.
Beautiful team fight from T1, baiting out Dplus. You know, Carrier
was just so incredibly impressive. You get around Doran, who has that full health bar, and DK, they could smell blood in the water, but it just wasn't. They was doing well. We had Lucid chasing Ona out of his jungle, winning out in that early game situation, and it has meant absolutely nothing. As we can see here, the siege is continuing. The Baron getting to work here. As Equalizer goes down, flash in from Beryl, gets the cleanse out from Gumayusi as Carrier going down lower and lower. The Magnastorm not going to save him there. There's some untargetability from Lucid, will not save him here either, as it's a 1-for-1 in the end. And now Doran is rotating over. The needlework is so scary as once again he's under the turret. Once again he's dead under the turret, as aiming not going to be able to stick around though. So with the health bar advantages, Ona? Okay,
a little deep.
Okay, that's a choice. You can't go through that base gate, but that's okay. He's able to wait things out, and the rest of T1 will join. So
that's just aura, you know?
That was a lot of aura, and I think Showmaker could feel it. As the inhibitor going to be the next to fall here, as T1, they're pretty good at this, closing out these games. Yeah, exactly. That's ticking down. They see the orb fly across their heads. Let's see what Shiu can actually get done here. Bullet comes on through. Everyone's slowed down apart from Faker, but I don't think Shiu is going to be able to find too much more there. Voidseeker going to connect, but there is no killer instinct. So no more teleports, no more silly stuff.
Could that be enough to get them Dragon, though? You know, very late recalls coming out from T1. Maybe a window to sneak in, but it looks like Lucid taking the red here, a little bit concerned. Oh, they find Carrier.
Yeah, Carrier just crashes down over the wall.
He is rather tanky.
He is indeed.
I think they've missed the window. I'm not sure if
3 items like you were talking about, a thing to watch out for on aiming, but I feel like it's too little and it's probably too late.
Yeah, the problem is, you know, there's 3 items across the board for T1.
I'm going to connect there onto Doran, and then Showmaker has to try and find a way out as, the deadly flourish! That was beautiful! From Gumayusi, has to now walk off the red carpet as Beryl looking for Doran. The Magnastorm's gorgeous! Carrier sacrifices himself for it though, and now they're looking for even more. Over the wall they go. Doran is so low, Guma's so low, but it doesn't matter because they get a clean ace, only losing Carrier for it. And T1 will now look to finish the game.
Dplus going for an attempt there. You know, they managed to find a kill onto the support, but nothing more. They don't have to follow through with Showmaker dead, and with this much of a deficit, it was a tall order anyway. T1 managing to hold strong after, you know, some troubles, a little bit of troubles in the early game. A very convincing finish out for this game.
Absolutely beautifully done by T1, and it was just the fact that they held it together, right? It looked like things were snowballing out.